shotgun, you get the terrible crossbow. It is rancid terrible. Okay, first of all, it shoots 3 bolts. And so you think that it'd be kind of comfortable with a shotgun because you got more ammo. The thing is, the cone is like this. So you almost always lose 2 of your shots, which means you have about the same power as your 9mm pistol. About the only saving grace of it is when you reload it, it technically holds all the bullets you have. If you have 100 bullets in a crossbow without anything in it, it will hold a clip of 100 bullets. Otherwise, it's terrible. Never use it. Don't look at it. The only time you use it is when you have a regular zombie. Okay.
Yeah, allegedly, in real life, if it were real, shoot in the brain. Apparently, that's what like nulls the creature forever. So, and in later games, they have exposed heart tyrants. We'll use that later. Next slide.
Oh, also, again, if you can hunt it silently, do it. So if you got a bow, or you're good with a slingshot or something like that, if you go ahead and go to town, I probably won't be able to find you.
All right, we have our T-103. This is the mass-produced tyrant. There's tons of them. And Resident Evil Survivor, it's a shooting game. You learn the backstories of tyrants, but we'll skip that for later.
Anyway, in Resident Evil 2, you have Game A and Game B. Game A is the first character you pick, and it'll ask you, do you want to save? And when you save, when you load that file, you start in Game B playing with the other character. By the way, play Claire A, because of, again, the B game is a lot harder, and you have the dinky bow gun, it is a nightmare.
And the canon says you should do it that way too.
Yeah, the canon is actually Claire A. Leah. Anyways, okay. In the B game, this is when you deal with this guy. He will hunt you mercilessly forever. He actually starts doing some things that were very neat, like blowing up walls to chase you. You will encounter him in a room. He'll walk in the door, and you'll think, I will just zone out, and it will not be a problem, because I'm done grabbing the item I needed here. Go out the door, there's a long hallway that goes around the room. He will just, whoa! Just like, yeah! Like Kool-Aid Man, just, you know, come give you a hug. And it just, So anyways, you can either, again, treat him like a boss, shoot him with lots of pistol, shotgun. I think depending on how early you encounter him, you may not have a shotgun yet, or, God forbid, a bow gun. You can throw a bunch of ammo at him, it's ill-advised. If you do kill him, walk up to his corpse and do the investigate thing. He usually has ammo on him for some reason. In real life, just go away. He survives, swims in molten metal.
In the game, he's the second to last boss, and Mr. X here falls into a vat of molten metal, and it burns off that coat. Turns out the coat's called a limiter coat, and it's what makes him not kill you as fast. So when it shreds off, he goes into like survival adrenaline mode, hulks out, hands turn into shovels, and he is fast, he mauls you.
Roaches, whatever, they're silly, the roaches. They won in a competing war against rats infected with the T-virus. That's about the only interesting thing about them. Oh, also if you get swarmed by them in the game, they can actually kill you really quickly, but you really should just run away from them. Yes.
Alright, this pet alligator was released to Raccoon City. It's a child cried, and I cried because it was gigantic and infected with the T-virus. In the game, you can't actually kill it with standard fire weapons. What you do is, you run around, you're in this like sewer system, you find this little CO2 canister, and it's like, release in case the giant crocodile falls out, you back up a couple steps, the alligator walks up to it, and it's all like, I'm gonna kind of chew on this for a while. While it's chewing, you quote Josh Smalley, son of a bitch, any bullet, any gun, right into the canister, shazoom, this top roof of the mouth explodes completely, and it's dead forever.
In real life, again, like most of the bigger things, avoid it. Heavily concentrated assault rifle fire will probably kill it, but you probably won't have that. Okay. Yeah.
IVs are cool.
What is that?
Yeah, sure. All right. So we have some plants infected by the T-virus, kind of like a sequel to the Plant 42 we saw earlier, as they are Plant 43. At first, in game maze, you primarily deal with the green eye, and they just lurch towards you. They spew some sort of acid attack on you, just inconveniences you. They whip you, they hit you. Any fire weapon takes them down. Leon has the flamethrower, which the game gives you a whole bunch of that. Second, you even beat them. Burn them up, take them down. Claire's got flame rounds, take them down. The explosive rounds work pretty good too. If you take them down with conventional gunfire, the corpses lay down and their little vines start whipping around. If you walk over them, they whip the crap out of them, even to death. You have red ivy, which work exactly the way that the other ivy do, but they almost always poison you with any touch.
Another thing to take note of, again, because you have the A game and B game, you get the option to use the anti-battle gas, which will weaken the IVs during your A playthrough, but on your B playthrough, they somehow become resistant to the gas and also grow stronger. So keep that in mind. I usually wait to use that on the B game since I usually have more to deal with anyways. Yeah, use a lawnmower against them if you're fighting them.
Yeah, this is not interesting. You shoot it with big ammo, especially fire.
He's just there. He's in a room. Don't worry about it. Oh my God! We have Birkin, the boss of Resident Evil 2. And this is like, you know, all of his forms.
Evolutions and whatnot.
What the G-Virus does is it makes you, like, rapidly mutate out of control and also gives you the ability to fix carbon at an alarmingly fast rate. A trait that a lot of monsters in this game seem to grow. Anyway, every time it gets hurt a lot, it will go into a dormant state and grow bigger, which is why all these forms occur. Just like this. Okay, so Birkin 1 and 2. Again, treat him for the most part like a tyrant to stay out of range of him. He likes to use the pipe to hurt you until he decides to grow a gigantic claw tyrant's arm. You might also have a submachine gun, which is very useful to use on him, does a lot of damage very quickly. Again, otherwise just treat him like in real life, just run away from him. He just keeps coming. You don't want to be near him. If he's taking a nap, just run as far away as you can. Another thing you might want to know, G-Birkins, the G-Virus guys like to reproduce. And they can only reproduce by finding people with similar genetic traits. So if you're related to someone with the G-Virus, you might get raped.
In the case of this game, that person who's related to him is his little girl. And he actually...
Yeah, I'm sorry. Goddamn Japan. But in the canon, Birkin impregnates his 10-year-old daughter.
Through the mouth. Somehow. Anyway, moving on.
Japan.
Okay, so again, more stuff. Let's see. For Birkin 3.
Just heavy ammo.
Yeah.
I mean, standard boss fight. The first form, the third form up here, it's pretty slow still. You can outpace it easily. Big weapons, it will collapse, and then you turn into dog murder.
I mean, in the third form, it also gains jumping power, so it will leave that too. And that form in the bottom right corner, I call it the dog form because he just runs around on all 6 legs at this point. When you encounter him, you have like all these, you know, they look like generators or servers or just electronics in the room. And what he likes to do is like to run through these corridors, plow into you.
He'll grab you, just front, leg, arm things, and he'll hug you with his mouth, which is made out of serrated teeth. So, we'll move on.
Yeah, survive, no.
Now we have Train Birkin. Brian's your favorite.
Okay, what the fuck, Birkin? What are you anymore? Look at this. All this teeth. You got maybe a face here, and another face here, and an arm here, and a leg. I don't even know where he's getting all of this or why he's growing. Anyways, you only encounter this at the end of the B game. If you did it right, you should have one shot of rocket launcher left. Use it, then use whatever gun you happen to have on him. You must kill him quickly, otherwise he will eat your face off, because he is actually consuming the train you are on. For survival, don't be on a train, don't be near a train, and God forbid, don't be a train. Okay, we'll just go on. Okay.
But what about the fans of Train Simulator?
Well, then don't have Train Birkin around. We'll eat all of your trains. It'll probably get big.
On a side note, we have G, which is the son of Birkin.
Oh yeah, the police chief, Brian Irons, for some reason happens to be a very similar genetic match. He gets impregnated through the mouth, and this explodes out of him. Again, traditional boss fight, about the only thing that's different is it will drop these leech-like things that will run around their larva, and they will clamp onto your ankles, and then from there they'll crawl up and then start, you know, they'll stun you and do damage to you.
Alright, we'll move on.
Yeah.
Now 3, Nemesis, with movie star Nemesis. These things really aren't all that hard. These are the Drain Demos, the upgrades, the brain suckers. They crawl around, they're kind of like chimeras in terms of their movements. They also like to grab you and hug you and suck your brains. But they're delicate creatures. any shotgun blast or grenade launching blast, they explode into nothing. They're not a huge problem.
Not the only thing you need to watch out for is, again, like the spiders, they like to crawl on ceilings, crawl on top of things. Just kind of watch corners, watch the walls. And the brain suckers will poison you, so just try not to get attacked by them. But by the time you encounter them, you'll have plenty of big ammunition. Alright, let's go. Okay, they're hunters. Just for some reason a different variety. They're red. Exploding hospitals happen to be their weakness.
Next slide. Alright, we have the Gamma Hunters. They're fat, they're slow, they have no teeth. They can't insta-kill you. They'll hit you for a while, and once your health hits the danger zone, they'll pick you up and swallow you whole, and you're just dead. But they can't survive in dry climates, hot climates.
So treat them like a frog. Stay away from your local pond or stream or river or lake.
Alright, next.
Okay.
Great digger. Giant worm, you run away from it, you shoot it. The best way to kill it is take a little RC car, strap some dynamite to it, go off, swallow it.
In the game, you will have to fight it. It's really a pain in the butt boss to fight. It loves to block you and hit stun all day long, so just take out your biggest gun. If you got Magnum, don't be afraid, just use it.
Next. Alright, again, the star of the game, Nemesis. This is an asshole. We talked about Mr. X earlier, how he kind of follows you around, and usually if you leave a room, usually he won't come with you.
Like he has scripted areas where he will come in, so you will know where to expect him if you are veterans in the game. Nemesis tends to not play by that rule. He will literally chase you for a good portion of the game. When you zone out, he will chase you into that same zone. There's only a few predetermined areas where you'll actually lose him. So if you're looking around for ammo and stuff, you'll probably have this guy after you all day long. One good thing, if in this game you have a dodge system. If you learn his attacks very well, you can dodge his attacks all day long and kill him easily with the pistol or even the knife if you feel like it. I haven't done it with the knife because I never bought it good enough to have the dodge system. But when you do kill him, he'll drop weapon parts. These weapon parts can either be combined or used straight off to make your weapons more powerful. Like the pistol will turn into a 3-round burst pistol. It'll make the shotgun more accurate and more powerful, and then the Magnum more powerful.
And he's a very special creature. He's like a tyrant, but he's actually extremely intelligent. You should probably even order from McDonald's if you asked him to. So yeah, next slide. Alright, we have his upgrade, where he loses the coat. It's not a limiter coat, he just gets pissed off, loses the coat, and his tentacle grows. Whenever he gets damaged, he gets better. Whatever killed him the first time doesn't kill him so much the second time, and so on. He's a dick. He loves to choke the life out of you with his tentacles. Stay away from them. Hit him with your heaviest ammo. He will run after you like a football player or a Kenyan Olympic athlete. Stay away from him.
If you want to survive, don't be a Japanese schoolgirl.
Next slide.
Okay, Nemesis type we don't even know anymore. So you drop him in a garbage compactor and he goes away for a bit. And this is what he comes back as. He for some reason has lost the ability to use his legs, but he has grown many more tentacles, and he's also a lot bigger. At this point, you use, again, you just need to avoid him. He'll be spewing acid the whole time. Don't get near him at all. Whatever you do, shoot him like normal bosses. And then there's also this part, what is it? Particle? It's a railgun. Okay, so in this area, there happens to be a railgun that is pointed at a wall. I don't understand why you point a railgun at a wall. Well, whatever. It's there, you charge it, you get it in the way, you fire. And so if you press space, it should have the black face on the fire blade. Whatever. Anyways, if you need to survive it, it can only be defeated by Super Dimensional Fortress Macross. You need to use a big old laser cannon.
Next slide.
Yeah, it is that. Whatever.
Code Veronica, which to me, in my opinion, is the hardest of all the Resident Evil games.
One point I want to make about the Nemesis question mark type. If the laser wasn't bad enough, for some reason it's still sort of alive, and you flip over it, grab a Magnum that is magically on the floor now, and shoot it with 6 rounds, and then it dies. It just kind of gives up. It's like, I'm okay. I've had enough. I've been shot with lasers. I've been pushed over things. You now shot me with a magnum. I'm calling it quits. I'm going on vacation.
Alright, go Veronica. Let's get a move on. Alright, we have the goal for Sea Grave Digger. Next one. The Bandersnatch. This is the reason why I hate playing this game. I hate these flawed failure tyrants.
Because they're better than regular tyrants, actually. They have, the big old arm can stretch probably about 20 feet. That's why I call them Stretch Armstrong. They always place them in large corridors, which makes them really hard to avoid, and you can't use your shotgun very well because it requires you to get within their hit range. So, Magnum would be a better option. You also want to save that for bosses. It's really kind of mixed feelings about dealing with these.
Real life, you need longer range weapons because it's got a long range weapon. So stay away, shoot the asshole, shoot the kid dies. Next slide.
Oh yeah, by the way, don't depend on Steve if you need to deal with these guys ever.
Alright, we have the 103R mass produced. Kind of like in Sailor Moon R, seriously better than Sailor Moon. Treat it like a regular tyrant. Just trying to move on at the same time.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, move on.
Yeah, move on.
Nosferatu, so here we go. Brian, take it away.
Okay, Nosferatu actually happens to be Alexander Ashford, who is one of the members who control Umbrella, until he gets murdered by his genius daughter who wants to experiment on him. Anyways, he turns into that after being infected with the T. Veronica virus and not put into some 10-year incubation period in cryogenic frozen sleep. Anyways, when you kill Alfred in the game, sorry, spoilers, Alfred dies, you probably want him to die anyway, so whatever. He drops a rifle because that's what he's been using to try and hurt you the entire game. It has 5 shots. If you put 3 of them in his heart, Nosferatu will go down. And unlike any other weapon in this game, you'll go into a first-person view, you'll look down the scope, and then you can shoot him. The problem is you fight him in a blizzard, so it's really hard to shoot at him at range. If you're like me, and you're weird, or you have to go home and go eat dinner, and you don't want to play this boss seriously, you'll load up on herbs, and grab your knife, and see if you can do it. The thing is, you can! Unbelievably, if you have healing sprays and herb mixes up the wazoo, you can stab him to death. I don't even know what strategy I used. I think I just berserker ran up to him. So the main problem with him, he spews poison, he throws out these purple clouds, they will poison you. So bring in blue herbs or cinnamon, which happens to be brown or blue, red, green, turns into a brown pile of cinnamon.
Yeah. If you're Claire, or you are Claire when you're fighting him, if you do get poisoned by his poison clouds, even if you heal up from it, if you're poisoned, it affects the game later on because you play as Chris, and there's an extra mission to help you if you save your Claire ass. So,
yeah. You know, Albinoid, you find one of these, they're in a pool of water.
You can choose with the slime.
Yeah, they'll run up to you and try and shock you. Really, yeah, whatever. They can't climb out of the hole. Don't bother. Grab the item that's in the hole and run away.
Next one.
Oh, yeah, Hunter, that's it. Whatever, we'll go on.
Now they poison.
Okay, so we have Alexia Ashford, who, oh, I'm sorry, it's 15 years of cryogenic sleep that she went through that somehow makes her not turn into a mindless monster. It turns her into a naked lady with blood that bursts into flames.
How's it Kerrigan from StarCraft?
So anyways, this boss time, you know the drill, just huge stuff. The main thing you gotta watch out for is you get the flaming blood because she'll slash her wrists all day long and throw it at you, evidently. And for survival, try not to be flammable, don't be near her, and if anyone's familiar, there was a first release that was just Code Veronica. The one that you see most often is Code Veronica X. In Code Veronica, Wesker is here and dies again. In the first release of Resident Evil 1, Wesker dies, and that's the last you hear of him. Then for some reason, he actually survived and comes back. And you know, they retcon all of it. Well, in this game, he comes back just to get killed again. And they decided, no, we're not happy with him dying there. So they retconned it again, and he survives. But whatever. Alexia evidently was
Next.
bad.
Now we have, like, fat Alexia. Flying Alexia. This is a hard boss. The flying thing, no. The fat thing is one of the hardest bosses in Resident Evil.
Well, they're both hard in their own way. So when you first encounter her, you'll see her in the form on the lower right. She'll take up like half the room, and she's like covered in tentacles, spewing acid all the dang time. She is really just a war of attrition. You gotta damage her faster than she damages you. When you do hurt her enough, also, oh sorry, too early. Anyways, whatever. When you do hurt her enough, she goes into a fly form, but then Alexander Ashford, being the awesome, badass father he was, knew his daughter was evil and put in a railgun specifically for you to use to kill her. What will happen? Measure comes on, kill my daughter. Railgun pops out, charging, complete charging. Pull it out, you go into another first-person view, and you gotta hit her, it'll obliterate her, and then the mansion will get angry that you killed its owner and also try to explode her.
Yeah. Alright, yeah, let's move on. Alright, we got the Umbrella Chronicles, which are the rail shooters. We're gonna run through this one because...
Okay, it's a rail shooter. You got infinite pistol bullets, you also get shotgun, machine gun, all sorts of regular things. Just shoot it a lot.
Excellent. Alright, we have a Super's roid raging tyrant.
You want to shoot him in the face for the most part. You can shoot his hands if he's swiping at you. That's really about the only thing you need to know.
Real life, yeah.
Excellent. Ivan, similar thing, you just gotta hit them enough while they're trying to attack you. You are Wesker during this stage of the game. So if you aren't Wesker in real life, you're probably die.
These things can also like ninja jump and animate.
Oh yeah, this boss fight looks really, really cool because you're in a gigantic, like, huge elevator shaft, which Umbrella really loves to make as well. So during this fight, Wesker runs away and he's like, oh my god, one from the right, one from the left, they're coming at me, whatever shall I do? Jump 16 stories, evidently. And so you're jumping around the side. Whatever, let's go. Let's go. Play.
Thalos! Tyrant armored lethal organic system.
It's unique thing about it is it shoots missiles at you. If you shoot the missiles, you don't get hurt. If you don't shoot the missiles, you do get hurt. And also avoid super claw as much as you can. It takes ludicrous amounts of health. For survival, it's a tyrant with a powder suit and a rocket launcher. You're dead. See, do the math down there says you're dead.
If you play co-op, this boss fight is stupid easy. Because you have two guns, that's twice the guns that you normally have, and there's nothing you can do to hurt you.
Let's go. Okay, Sergei Vladimir. You're on more rails with more Wesker. You shoot a lot. Survival. Soviet Russia. You kill monster.
Alright, man, next slide.
Okay, this is more rail shooting. Albinoids, they're like hunters, but skinnier. The only thing that makes them hard is they're really skinny and hard to shoot. So, suggestion you use shotgun or machine gun. That's about it. Let's go on. You want this one?
Sure, why not? Alright, these things are hard. They will rip you apart, but it's a shooter. And shooters, you have bullets, you have all the bullets, shoot in the legs. They just go down, shoot in the heart, because it has this like open, hi, look at my heart, I wear my heart on my sleeve. And you shoot its sleeve and it dies. It's resistant to gunfire. In real life, it's going to rip you apart at melee range. Stay away from it, shoot it far away, wait for the heart next slide.
Hilda Hidalgo. We're not even going to go into who she is. She's a person infected with the T-virus virus. Whatever, bad stuff happens. You drop a church bell on it, it gets annoyed and runs away. Later on, it has a scar where you hit it with a bell. Shoot that. That's about it. If you want to survive, be a good singer because it doesn't attack you when you're singing. It seems to like it. All right, let's go on. Okay, V complex. Javier feeds, well, sing a little shot, yeah, a little shot before. Feed me, Seymour.
He's eaten by a plant.
I got the name wrong. It's what, Alice 2 or something like that?
Yeah.
Whatever, continue. You shoot it a lot, it's very big. You also have a girl that's also T. Veronica, spewing flaming blood at it. If you don't kill it fast enough, she dies. If you kill it fast enough, she doesn't. So feel bad if you slaughter.
Alright, now we're Resident 4. Action, alright.
Okay, I'm going to approach the Ganado and the Machini. Ganado on the top, Spaniards, Machini on the bottom, African people. Okay, they're about the same thing. They're all controlled with the Plaga, regular Plaga on top, Type 2 experimented on Plaga on the bottom. There's really no difference between the two. Okay, next slide. Again, they're not a zombie. They actually have intelligence. They'll flank you. Their faces seem to be more resilient to bullets because they survive more than a couple shots to it. In this game, you start getting the quick time events and the action commands. So if you shoot them in the face, it might seem counterintuitive. Run up to them and press A or X on the Xbox 360 or whatever you got. And chances are, if you're Chris, you'll just punch them, which is boring. If you're Leon, you'll use your titanium legs to kick everyone.
Big sweep kick, you can take out multiple. Even ones who aren't in the stun animation, you can kill
when
like
you're
four
doing
at once.
when you're doing these attacks, you have invulnerability frames, which makes it lovely. Run into huge group, shoot one in the face, run into the group, do the punch. You'll knock tons of them down. Again, Leon kick will knock all of them down. It's very, I don't know, very gratifying to do. Oh, one thing I want to mention. You have, when you get in Resident Evil 4 to the castle, you get these black robe figures. Leon gets a second action command. Don't shoot him in the face, shoot him in the shins. They'll go on their knees, and Leon will suplex them, which has a very huge chance of exploding their head without a parasite coming out of it.
Speaking of parasites, here we are, the mature parasite, aka SpongeBob. The name SpongeBob is only Brian Ice call him because my brother and
I don't call him SpongeBob. He calls me
We call him SpongeBob.
I only call him SpongeBob because you started to. They were not originally mine.
I completely forgot what they were called. As I was playing the game back when this game came out, and I forgot what they were called. And my brother was playing, like, Jesse, look behind you! There's a SpongeBob! they're spongy looking like an actual sea sponge. I don't know. And so they're SpongeBob.
Okay, anyways, the most common one is the big old tentacly one. They're made out of blades, they move around a lot. Stay away. They are murder machines, especially the Plaga one with the little side tentacle thing. You can stun them in the face again if you shoot them enough. It takes like, what, 6 shots rather than the normal one in the face. Flashbangs will kill any exposed Plaga instantly.
Printed me out of crows.
Otherwise, shotgun and rifle is your best friend for these guys. For regular survival, run away. Keep your distance. Oh, also Resident Evil 4, there's a Plaga that will separate when you kill it. It spews acid when it's connected, and will skid around when it's separated.
Hi, especially now.
Well, okay, hold on. I should mention it. There are several varieties of these things. In 4, there's also one that, if it gets close enough, will instantly eat your head off. It looks like a gigantic worm. Just stay away from them. They're no problem. In 5, you have the big old shell ones. Use a flashbang, for God's sake. They are the worst ones to deal with, in my opinion. They'll charge you and just bash you with their weird bulbous shell thing. You can shoot their legs as their weak point. Otherwise, flashbangs makes it a hell of a lot easier. All right, now we go to this. We got the Boss Magini.
Next slide.
Okay, so Boss Minato, Boss Magini, you have the chainsaw type. Stay away from the people in chainsaws. You know, in every horror movie, horror game, horror anything, chainsaws equal your head getting cut off. They are a one-hit kill, which means they just come up to you, cinematically saw your head off, depending on how they want to show it. They will look at your feet, the head will roll on the ground or whatever, or you'll just slump over without your head. You have the Wolverine type. They are blind, can't see you. There's usually bells in the arenas. Shoot the bells, they'll run to them. Their weakness is a big old Plaga, pulsating thing on their back. What else do we got for these guys?
Pretty much the strategy is use an incendiary round. You'll put them to a stun animation. Like, I'm on fire! I'm on fire! I'm on fire! Oh my god! And then take advantage of the weak points right in there. Plus, the incendiary grenades just do a ton of damage anyway.
I love shotgun and rifles, so that's what I love.
Alright.
Del Lago. During this fight, you're given harpoons. Really, the main thing you gotta do is steer the boat so you don't run into the logs. If you can handle that, really when it's towing you, try to throw spears at it. And when you're stuck in the middle of the lake, be sure to scan around because they'll try and charge you. You get about 3 or 4 harpoons into it before it gets to the boat. And for some reason, it will call off its tack even though it's literally like 2 inches from it.
Real life, again, like Neptune, throw a toaster in the bathtub instead.
Oh, on the dock. When you approach him and go to the dock, like, you know, second playthrough, I knew he was there. Also, there's fish in the water. I love to shoot the fish because you can pick them up, sell them to the merchant, upgrade your guns, or you can eat them for help. Either way, I love the fish. I'm weird that way. So, while I'm trying to fish, I'm shooting into the water. And when I shoot, it's just like, okay, is there a T-Rex somewhere around? Am I now in Jurassic Park? Shoot some more. Okay, it's getting closer. Whatever, I want the fish. Boom! The thing jumps out of the dock, or water, onto the dock, eats you, game over.
You die.
Yeah, it's just a neat little element that I...
Next slide. Alright, hi. everything about the everything. These things scared the shit out of me. First playthrough, there's this little wolf thing. The tentacles, those weren't there yet. I just sat there like, oh, it's just a zombie dog. I've been through this. All of a sudden, it opens up and then there's tentacle right
back explodes with tentacles. They run very, very quickly. Again, shotgun is your best bet. If you see them before they see you, get a couple easy shots. With the rifle, at this point, I think you are, no, you don't have the semi-auto rifle. You're stuck with the regular, stupid bolt-action rifle. Also, the technical first encounter you can get is if you go back across the lake to the first dock, you'll encounter 3 there. What I like to do is run back to the boat and use harpoons. It's really hilarious to see a 5-foot harpoon in a dock. Okay, survival similar to service, they're a little bit faster, and they love to just grate your face off with their teeth. Let's go.
El Gigante, okay. Is somehow a person, a Stretch Armstrong, who's this hulking Hulk monster. Or, you know, if you watch Lord of the Rings, it's a cave troll.
Earlier on in the game, you will encounter a dog. In fact, the dog is encountered within the first, 10 minutes of the game. If you're nice, you save it. If you're a dick, you shot it. If you're a dick, this guy will dick you over.
Now, if you save the dog will come back, like Benji. It's like, ruff, 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 and it inconveniences the troll.
It just annoys the troll. It will distract it, allowing you to get some easy damage in. The dog is indestructible at this point.
Once you damage it enough, this guy will fall to a knee, and this giant parasite clog will come out its back, and it's like, hey, what the hell's going on? Some sort of periscope, submarine. Well, you can either A, walk up to it, do a quick time event, run to it, hack and slash it apart, it'll throw you off, repeat until you win. Or take the TMP, shoot that shit out of it. And it's
the TMP is probably the most hacks weapon you'll get at this early point in the game. When you look at the damage, you're like, oh, it's weaker than the pistol, but you can fire 10 of these shots a second. Meaning when it says 0.9 damage compared to your 0.14 for the pistol, you're really doing 9 points of damage per second rather than the silly 1.4 for the pistol. Also, the TMP is lovely to do damage to stun him because he really doesn't give you a ton of openings with the rifle or the shotgun. You may not want to get close enough.
Next slide. Jeez. Yes, whatever.
Okay, the first phase, I tend to play really slow. I will climb up into the balcony, grab my rifle, and just take pot shots at him. As long as you go from one end of the upper balcony to the other one, he can never attack you. The only way he can hurt you is if you're silly and get too careless. There's also a couple explosive barrels on the ground floor you can use to hurt him more. The second form is where it gets really hard. He says, good legs, you suck. I don't want you anymore. Busts off, you know, he's now just a torso with these big old claws, and then he will now jump around from the rafters all over the place. At that point, your best bet is the shotgun to hopefully knock him off the rafters. It can be very difficult. You were given quick time events to try and dodge attacks, but they are very short, and sometimes they don't give them to you, it seems. I don't know, I've had really spotty experiences with that boss fight. You can also use the TMP if you have trouble shooting him because he moves around a crap ton. Alright, let's go. Oh, by the way, if you want to survive, throw him to a barn and set it on fire. That seems fun. Okay, no Vistadors. They're bug-like. They're insect humanoid hybrids. They're infected with Plaga. They're invisible, and you know when you first encounter them, you know they're hiding all over the place. But they have this really good camouflage, which is really hard to see. But if you look really closely, and again, you'll always know they're around by this weird kind of, I don't even know how to describe the sound. It just sounds like, you know, kind of like a buggy sound. If you look really closely, you can see ooze coming out of their mouth. Well, their mouth is attached to their face. So I shoot the ooze, and it will usually kill them with one shot from the semi-auto rifle, which you should have at this point. They like to get in close and do this jump attack, which there's an action command for, which Leon will kick them away. I also tend to run to the jail cells within the first area. You find them, bottleneck them, and just go to town with the shotgun.
Moving on.
Go.
Armadura, you know, these things are boring. You basically knock off the heads, use flash.
Shoot them a lot with a shotgun, machine gun, whatever. Head will pop off, flashbang, end of game. They seem to always have the tentacle flying coming out.
Yes.
Okay, Salazar's right-hand man. We don't even know what he's made out of. When you encounter him, you are highly encouraged to just dodge him unless you have a huge excess of ammo. you're in some sort of service tunnel. There's liquid nitrogen containers lying all over the place. You don't know what to do with them. First section, you just have to run away from them. Start the power generator, get the elevator running. You have to wait like, what, 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, I want to say, before you can actually go into the elevator. Which you can either dodge him for that whole time, or it's 5 minutes. Okay. You lure him to the liquid nitrogen containers, and it will freeze him, and then you get a chance to do a lot of damage with a shotgun or whatever. If you have a lot of money, you can buy a rocket launcher, and when he's frozen, shoot him with the rocket launcher and he'll die in one hit. If you don't freeze him, he won't die from one hit from the rocket launcher, which is BS.
Hi, Salazar. The smallest character in the game turns out to be the biggest character in the game.
He somehow gets eaten up by a meat flower and turns into, well, that's the face of his left-hand man, evidently. And then Salazar is just a torso inside this weird little teeth barrier thing. Use the TMP on that big old face, shoot the yellow eye. It'll eventually stun it, and then Salazar will be like, "Why are you shooting my yellow eye?" And then he'll just sit there and for some reason just eat all the damage throughout. Pull out the Magnum, go to town on his face, machine gun, shotgun, rifle, whatever you got. One thing,
hilarious strategy, if you don't feel like doing anything at all. There's a merchant right outside his door. Buy a rocket launcher, the second Salazar pops out, it's like, don't get our Taco Bell. Money.
But at that point, I don't think it's worth it. That's a lot of money. But whatever, you can do that if you're really having trouble with them. One thing to look out for, the head down there. Will sometimes get gaping huge open, and then you'll get a quick time event. If you are in the way of that gaping head or fail the quick time event, it's an instant kill. Doesn't matter how much health you have, you just win. Alright, let's go. Regenerators are probably, in my opinion, the creepiest guys in this game. They twitch a lot, they're really weird looking. When you first encounter them, you think that they are pretty much unkillable because, as the name implies, they regrow their limbs. So anyways, later on you figure out there's a bunch of parasites inside of them that you have to shoot. You can only see them with the thermal scope. You get the thermal scope. The first few will only have a couple on the front. Just look for the big old glowing spots on them with that scope. If you really want to, you can use a lot of bullets. They will die if you shoot them enough, but it takes, like I had a maxed out striker, and I want to say it took 20 to 30 shells from them, which is a lot. Later on, they'll have a parasite on their back, which is the hardest one to hit, in my opinion. The strategy I use, get the ones on the front of his torso, pop off one of his legs. It will fall on his face, giving you a free shot out their back. But you got to be quick, otherwise they'll start wiggling around and then lunge at you. It's a boss. Use your big guns. Again, TMP if you don't have a lot of time to pull out your weapon. Rifle not advised. I say shotgun and TMP are your best bets. Magnum if you feel like it. Later on, when you kill the main body, you kill this. This stays alive, and it becomes a lot more ferocious and will attack all the time, giving you very few openings. Again, the best thing I can say is try and get some distance, unload on it with a shotgun and the TMP when you can, and also there are quick time events when it starts shooting its tentacle out from underground. It will give you I want to say a 1.5 second window, so it's a lot of time to dodge that.
Next, please. Thank you.
Jack Krauser. Okay, this is a boss who may not know how to effectively deal with him. You go through a maze, you have to dodge him. In my opinion, all you need to do is have your striker shoot him once and just dodge him, or, as you see the knife symbol there, the knife does ludicrous damage to him. I don't even know the numbers. It must do like 8 times more damage than the knife normally does to him. Best thing to do is dodge his attacks when he pops around corners, run up to, knife him in the face, and you usually get pissed off and throw a flashlight. When you're fighting him on top of the tower that is also covered in dynamite, because Krauser is silly and wants to kill himself and everybody, he'll grow a shield thing. The best strategy is, again, dodge attack, try and get as close as you can and knife him. Because if you hit him in the face, he will stun, not be able to attack you, and you can just keep him stun locked and end it right there that way. Otherwise, the only other strategy I found for fighting him with guns is pull out your rifle, get to the other end, shoot him in the leg, shoot him in the face, shoot him in the leg, shoot him in the face. You can combo it back and forth. They'll keep him in his stun locker, it'll hold his face, you shoot him in his leg, he'll go down, hold that. his face will be right there, and the shield won't be annoyingly in your way. All right. Sadler. Again, key to survival to this is, again, mastering the quick time events. He likes to throw girders at you, which you can easily jump over. He, on his arm things, he has big old eyeballs. If you shoot it, he will go into a stun thing, exposing his gigantic eyeball. This used to be his head. For some reason, he grew an eyeball, which makes me wonder how he breathes anymore. Whatever, that's where you gotta do the damage. You use the Magnum, or you can use the little action command, just knife him in that. Another interesting thing, the mine launcher, which I don't know how many people actually use it. It's pretty worthless in my opinion for the most part, but when you max it out, the darts become heat-seeking. And it'll actually seek his eyeballs, because the ones on his back legs that never face you are really, really, really hard to hit. Also, explosive barrels will instantly stun him if you're run out of eyeballs. Survival, driving Metal Gear. Alright, next. Okay, Wiggly, lure it into the fire, close the doors, set him on fire. You can also make him absorb gas tanks, shoot them, it'll do a lot of damage, he'll be a pile on the ground, you can shoot him a lot. Otherwise, at the early point you find him, just burn him. If you do kill him, you'll get treasure, but at that point, it doesn't matter. Let's go. Big Man Machine, they're just bigger, use shotgun, they like to try and get in close to you, they do a lot of damage. Again, shotgun, rifle, anything heavy on them will work well. Let's go. Hippo, the flying bat things, shoot them. Whatever, boring. Let's go. Karimu. Okay.
Alright, this snail bat is stupid. Alright, so when you fight the thing, it flies around for a while, it'll shriek at you, it'll swoop at you, it's real easy to dodge. Your AI partner is kind of stupid, thinks you can, like, I don't know, smash into it, butt heads. Doesn't matter, you're fine.
Underneath that tail thing is a big old red spot with, you know, little mini tentacles on it. That's his weak spot. It's big, it's red, it's squishy. You should instinctively shoot there. In order to get him to expose that, you get mines in this area. Drop a mine, get him to run it over. It'll knock him over to just go over, shoot it with whatever you got, or if you feel like it, knife it. I wouldn't suggest it though.
Alright, if it were a real creature, you need the Amato cannon.
He shows up twice, by the way. In the ruins, he'll show up again in a smaller arena, but you'll know he's coming because they'll give you mines again. It's the only time they ever give you mines. Let's go. And Desu, okay, he's an El Gigante. The only difference is you fight him while on Jeeps. Yeah, on a Jeep. You got 2 machine guns. There are explosive barrels along the ground. I suggest keeping them there unless he picks up the boulder or picks up the telephone pole, will cause him to drop it. There are also annoying dudes shooting arrows and Molotov cocktails at you, which Molotov cocktails will potentially stun you. Try and take care of them if you notice them. Otherwise, shoot his face a lot. If he's really up in your grill, it will stun him and cause him to walk back. Eventually, a bunch of parasites will pop out of him. Shoot them a lot. For the first stage, what? It's 1. The second stage is 3. Yep, let's go. Crocodile. Normal crocodile. They just like to eat you in this game.
Yeah. Not a sea monster or a parasite. It's just a thing. All right, moving on.
Okay, sorry. I approached these guys earlier. Did the shell deuce or another plaga mutation? The body explodes. This hanging red sack over there is actually their rib cage and where their organs used to be. And for some reason, they now have a gigantic black shell, extremely resistant to damage. Only the big old sword thing in the middle is attackable. You can shoot his legs or the big old meat sack hanging off of it now to do damage and stun it, and then shoot the center. Best thing to do, flashbangs. I really suggest by the time you start eating it, yeah, go.
Alright, we have Irving. Sounds like an alpha.
Okay, you fight him on a boat. He has tentacles coming out. Use a machine gun or the rocket launcher to kill him. If you don't have good aim, use a machine gun. If you have great aim, use the rocket launcher.
You can fit a both.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. It's really just.
Yeah, just shoot him a lot. It's really.
They use the dodge family.
Okay, these are bug dudes. Really weak, shoot them, whatever. Let's go. Boring. Beta Liquor, they come back. They now have less brain exposure, but more heart exposure. Also, they now smell you a lot better, so being quiet won't necessarily save your butt. Also, in this game, they attack in packs of like 16. They will come at you down a really, 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 really long corridor, and mounds of these will come at you. What's lovely is they also drop a bunch of treasure. My favorite strategy is pull out your rifle and shoot them all. If one of them is close by, you can actually do a command where you'll take your big old knife and stab them in the heart, which will instantly kill them, but that also involves you getting close to them, but they eat your face off really well. Okay, U8 is, he's about, I don't even know what he used to be. He's gigantic, he's armored. What you want to do is, the red stuff on his arms, you'll shoot that, it'll cause him to stun, lose his grip, he'll smash his face onto the platform you're on, and it'll open his mouth. If you have a grenade, walk up to it and press the action command, you'll throw a grenade in his mouth, and they'll like, tastes wonderful, and whatever, his face will explode. He'll lose part of his jaw, exposing his main weak point. You can do this multiple times, which will blow off the majority of his face. Big old gaping weak spot. And again, really just shoot at those. He will also have these mini bugs that will chase after you. You can kill them really easily with the knife or the pistol. That's how you get more ammo if you're running low.
All right, next slide.
Wiggly 2.0, there's a flamethrower in the area. You can have a partner be ballsy and run up really close to the flamethrower. Problem with that is the flamethrower's range is shorter than its. You want to shoot its orange spots that will cause limbs to fall off. Its main weak point will come out when it's stunned, and it'll have these 3 big old tentacles come out of a pile of it. You shoot the orange spots. Really, with anything that is Ouroboros, shoot the orange spots. Okay. I put this as a question mark because this is a really, really huge spoiler for the game. So you will know who this is when you encounter them. It uses a machine gun. Avoid it. It is a murder machine, especially on professional. Anyways, you don't actually want to kill it. It has a red gem on its chest that you want to kill. And you need to shoot that, which will stun it, and then you can run up and use a command to try and rip the thing off. If you have a good partner, you can keep them stunned pretty much indefinitely throughout the whole match. If you're like me and you play one player on professional, well, you're going to cry a lot.
Next slide. Reapers, I hate everything that ever happened to these things.
Okay, they have 3 weak points. They're all glowing neon yellow. The problem is that he likes to hide them inside of his body. He will periodically show them. Oh, God. Anyways, he also shoots out this destroying spray that makes it hard to shoot it. At long range, I found it best to shoot its shoulder ones, which will expose while it's crawling at you. When you shoot that, it will lunge backwards and show the big old main one, and then you just want to shoot that a couple times. If you can hit the sacks, they're not all that hard. The problem is if they get close to you, they will instantly kill you. So getting close to them is a terrible idea. Unfortunately, they like to fight you in very narrow walkways, which makes it hard to stay away. All right, let's go.
So as opposed to the song, you should fear the Reaper.
Yep. You should definitely fear the
This
Reaper.
is like super gigantic.
This is like it ate all the African people in the country or something. You're on a boat, there's a big old pile of probably 50 bodies, eats all of them, turns big giant tentacly thing. You just happen to be in the right place at the right time because you get access to a space laser. You have a rocket launcher looking thing, all it does, targeting laser. Big old beam comes down and shoots it. Unfortunately, it's on a cooldown. What you want to do is you want to shoot the big old red, orange balls. Once you kill most of them, a gigantic big old orange one will pop up, and that's what you want to hit with the space laser. 2 to 3 shots from the space laser will kill it, depending on how much damage your partner does. Okay, Wesker. I am so angry about this boss fight because the history of Wesker is Wesker is tooled around, doesn't like Umbrella anymore, decides to backstab them. He gets eviscerated by Tyrant, takes a bullshit virus, allows him to survive, escapes the building. So his first kill, the first thing to kill him wasn't you, it was a Tyrant, something that, is big and okay, whatever. Second encounter is in Code Veronica. He's collecting all sorts of terrible things like the G virus, the Steve Veronica virus. You fight him. You realize he has bullshit Superman strength and flash stepping like from Bleach and whatever. And Chris tries to fight him unsuccessfully. He happens to get his ass handed to him. and the exploding building you happen to be on gets angry at Wesker. It thinks it's an unfair fight. So the building throws a flaming girder at him, smashing him in the face. And Wesker is like, oh, that sucked. I'm still okay. I can still rip your lungs out. But I'm missing half my face. I want to look my best when I kill you. So I'm going to hop on my stuff, I'm going to steal Steve while I'm at it, and I'm going to go with, you stay classy. And then, of course, the building is still exploding while this is all happening. Chris is probably like, I'm not dead.
So, let's wrap this one up here. If you fight him, he absorbs the Ouroboros thing that we've been talking about.
Actually, if you fight him first on the ship, Wesker's being so stupid. He's wearing sunglasses at night. Strategy, turn off the lights. You get a rocket launcher there that you can actually reload with several rockets you find. Shoot the rocket at him while the lights are off. He'll start wrestling with it. If you shoot him with the lights on, he'll just flash step it because he's faster than the speed of light. He will wrestle with the rocket. You shoot the rocket, it blows up in his face. He's like, ah, explosion. You run up to him, Chris punches him more like it's gonna actually matter. I don't even think it does, but Wesker lets him pretend to be so. You stab him with some plot serum that you find that causes him to be mildly inconvenienced. You get in the bomber jet, he's, makes things even worse. You land in a volcano, which is where the main bad fight occurs. He grows all those wiggly arms, he gets infected himself with the Ouroboros, he gets shrapnel covered all over him, and he will lightly brush you slide into lava if you don't do very well. Anyways, like everything with Ouroboros, he gets a big old glowing orange spot, shoot it a lot, and then, even at this point, cutscene. Oh my god, you shot me. Backwards, onto land, breaks off, falls into lava. Ah, I'm in lava! This really sucks! A helicopter comes in, saves Chris and Shep. So they're flying away, and Wesker's like, no! I don't want to be in lava! Shoots out a tentacle. He's still trucking. A volcano is angry at him now. He's still going, grabs the helicopter, tries to pull it down, and finally you have Chris and Shep, both of his rocket launchers, and shoot it at him, and a gigantic wave of lava covers him, and supposedly killing him. With as many times as his death has been retconned, I don't really think so. It's real, whatever. So that's Wesker for you.
He loses to a volcano.
You don't defeat him. Mother Nature defeats him. You've never defeated him ever. Don't even pretend.
Alright, now we're into the new stuff. Resident Evil 6, we have like about half an hour to get through.
We got about 20 minutes, so I'm sorry. We're going to have to do this really, really quickly. Alright, Resident Evil 6. C-virus zombies. Mostly the same thing. The only difference is they're smart enough to use weapons now, and they also know parkour. They love to jump at you, flying about 4 or 5 feet. That's really about the only difference. With the melee system, if you punch them and they have a weapon, you can actually grab their weapon and instantly kill them with it.
Resident Evil 6 has a melee combat system for the first time ever with a legitimate combat system, not just poke, poke. You can go against super strong enemies and actually have a good chance of winning with the combat system.
Okay, there's zombie dogs. Let's go. Oh, don't try and kick them. Don't use the melee system on them. It doesn't work very well. I've really tried. It just doesn't.
Next.
Okay, Shriekers, again, red weak spot, you should know what to do. They like to scream at you. Their scream will attract zombies to attack you, which is mostly an inconvenience. Anyways, shoot them in the neck. Like 3 shots from the pistol will usually burst it, and when their neck bursts, they will let out a high-pitched screech that will instantly kill any zombies near it. Like the zombies' heads will just explode. Like, next.
Blood shots. Okay, so they're like, fuck, we don't need skin no more. So they actually have this animation that's inside out. And they're scary as all that.
They're like hardcore zombies on steroids. They will jump even further. They're a lot more agile, a lot more resistant to damage. Shotgun is your best friend. You'll get it before you encounter any of these guys. They also tend to open up their ribcage and show their heart because they're like, look at this heart. Ain't it damn sexy? You should appreciate it. So while you're appreciating your heart, you should probably shoot it too with bullets. Huh? Yeah, appreciate it with bullets.
Shower of the gifts.
Okay. Bopper! Boomer! It's a really big, fat zombie. It's not incredibly agile. It is very damaging, but really, it's very easy to avoid. All you need to do is jump backwards on your back. jump to the side. I've actually punched one to death as Ada, just by staying around his back and avoiding his charge.
While you're behind them, they can't damage you. There's nothing they can do from right behind them. They'll turn around slowly, try and feed you. The only time that strategy doesn't work is if there's a ton of zombies latching onto you, in which case they can turn around and pump you.
Also, they can't jump. There is a section where you'll encounter them where you can jump over a crevice. They can't chase you after that. So if you want to, you can just lead into that, jump over, and have fun with them all day long. Just use your pistol. Go. Okay, it's the boob monster. Like, literally, it looks like someone stapled boobs to a So, those are actually pores that emit C-virus that turns you into zombies. Whatever. So, this is what caused all the zombies to happen. Keep your distance. The gas will burn you very quickly on any difficulty. On professional, you might as well call yourself dead if you're anywhere near one of these dudes when they use their gas. It can also grab onto you and which will have a quick time event. If you fail it, it will shoot gas into your throat, which will instantly turn you, put you in dying status. Yep. Yes.
Duke Nukem still did it.
Oh yeah. Okay. So, anyways, again, just stay at range. Use your pistol. Use your machine gun. Shotgun's not a good idea. Flame grenades and mine bombs are also very fun.
Despite its appearance, this thing can run pretty fast.
Whatever. Okay, let's go. Okay, Deborah. Deborah is a person infected with the C virus. She was in a cocoon and now she's naked. So Deborah is very angry. For some reason at you, she will crawl around all sexy-like and then jump down at you, mount you, and then stab you. She has 3 weak spots on her claws. They're big and yellow, and like most weak spots, they're totally forecasted to you. The problem is she moves around a lot, not giving you very good shots at her weak spot. The best shot at time is when she's on the upper walkway. Sometimes she'll taunt you, show all of her arms to the weak spots, and stand there for about 2 seconds. So that's the best time to go ahead and shoot her. Also, there's 2 barrels. If you shoot the barrels when she's very close to them, she will fall over, be stunned, and you can do a quick time event and instantly kill one of those weak spots. When all 3 are gone, move over to the second stage. Wild minecart ride. I suggest taking a nap. Just dive onto your back and stay there the whole entire minecart ride. You can't hit by boards. For the most part, can't hit by Deborah as long as you stay on the left or right side of the minecart. All right, let's go on. Okay, Bruzak is a fish. Shark.
You fight this thing in a cutscene, like quick time event battle. So there's not a lot of strategies.
Just follow the on-screen instructions. You'll eventually be on the world's oldest slip and slide, evidently. And there's also dynamite strapped to it. I don't know if they were trying to make it a universal theme park ride or something. Anyways, when the barrels come near it, you shoot it, and that's the end of that. Next one.
Can't pronounce
these are all Serbian words. I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation for anyone who knows Serbian, but I'm going to call it Rasapanji. It's a leech-like bioweapon. The stuff you see on the outside is actually a carapace. Inside is a big old pink squishy leech. If you hit it with fire, it'll expose that. You can shoot it a lot. Really, they're, for the most part, indestructible. Even if you shoot them a lot, they will go dormant, resurrect later, come to chase you the whole entire time. Each one of these sequences, you have to find something, usually 3 keys, to leave the area. The hands are interesting, though. You can actually, the hands, they will tear off their own hands and throw them at you, and they will chase after you and obscure your vision. What you can do with the hands is if you lure them near something like a microwave, or an oven, or a toilet, or like the incinerators you find in the umbrella facility, when you do the whole insta-kill melee thing on them, there's an on-screen prompt. Instead, you'll grab them, wrestle with them, and throw them into whatever it is, which will incinerate them and get rid of them for good. The legs and the body, you can't really do much about. So the best thing is just kind of go on your merry way. They have a grapple move, which will lay babies in your face if you don't complete the quick time event. Instantly kills you. So on professional, it's very, 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 very hard to complete without the skill that allows you to do quick time events easily. Go on.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, Derek Simons.
The meat former.
We nicknamed him the meat former. He has a very weird mutation that allows him to rip apart his body and reform into other things. His first form is the dog form. Really, you just gotta keep your distance, shoot him with shotgun, shoot him with machine gun, shoot him with whatever you got. You can lay remote bombs for him. He'll do great. Oh, when he's stunned, he'll go back in his human form, run up to him, hit the action command, punch him a lot. Again, on professional difficulty, you need to be mashing at the speed of sound in order to complete it on time. It's really unfair because if you don't complete it, he transforms and I think does damage on you, which really sucks. But if you complete it, you do this big old punch and does a lot of damage to him. Let's go. T-Rex form, which is really stupid. From one person's mask, you get a T-Rex. Really, same thing, keep your distance, shoot him a lot. He has eyeballs on his belly, eyeballs in his mouth, eyeballs on his back. So you want to shoot the eyeballs.